think what I've learned is that actually the sustainability requires there to be more than one person, or not dependent on one person. I think it becomes
absolutely.
very, you know, and I know this when you talk about, I've heard you talk about this when you've talked about LEAP, or you've talked about Basement, or you've talked about Noreen's organisation. You've always mentioned 2 or 3 other people in that organisation that have also been there a long time. It's not one person carrying the can, and so I think that community threshold is, you know, was pretty critical in a way. And we were just lucky. We just had I have to say, at one level we were lucky, maybe we weren't lucky, maybe it was just the commitment of people, and people wanted to be there. The really important bit about some of those meetings and events was that we were holding them. We very often held them at 4 o'clock, 4:30 through till 6:30, and we deliberately did that. Part of us, we thought about, should we have them in the day, and we said no. Yeah, this is A, people want curry and cake at curry and cake time, and B, the individuals with lived experience have often got lots of other appointments with professionals 9 to 5 and stuff. But we also said we don't want any professionals coming up who can't make the time because it's not in their day job. You know,
yeah, absolutely. What did you call it? What was it called?
I think I think we just called it North Wales Recovery Academy at the time, yes. And there was a parallel space. There was a North Wales Service User Forum. There was an All Wales Service User Forum that the Welsh Government coordinated for a while. We had a Wrexham Service User Forum group for a while. So bits had different pieces. Yeah.
I'm interested in the word academy. Do you think academy is the right word for this sort of?
I don't know. It was that was the stuff that came out of where, you know, more nationally, where David Best and Rowdy were at the time. That's what it got labelled as. I don't know.
People didn't have a problem with it, or
I think it allowed it to be. I think its advantage was it was clearly not a service. I think that was probably really important. It easily stood out as not being part of the service. It stood out as being something independent. Yeah, I think it does cause a problem. You know, I'm involved in something at the moment that's got the word centre attached to it, and yeah, that doesn't really appeal to everyone. And it's funny that we don't call these things what they are. They are quite simply networks.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, academy is too close to
Yeah. But we don't call them networks. And I think one of the problems is that, and it's probably really important, no one seems to value networking, be it a funder, be it a manager, be it an individual. And I think if you call it that, no one's going to go to it because they think all you're going to do is sit around and chat. Well, of course, that's exactly what we were doing, because we realized that change came through people formulating shared vision and relationships with each other. It's never happened any other way.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because it's a network. That's what it is. So are those who don't like the name, are they the people who don't want to be challenged by a network because you bring down power?
I don't know. I mean, big organizations recognize this, don't they? You know, organizations like Google have paid their staff just to go away without an agenda for the day. I don't care what you do, come back and tell us something about how it might or might not shape your work, or we'll look for the evidence in how your work goes. Or, you know, people have got this crazy notion of how they manage time and money in these other spaces.
Yeah. Well, it's a community, isn't it? Can you be a community?
It is absolutely at the heart of it, and that is, yeah.
That's what I mean. I was just thinking about it then. What you call it? And I suddenly realised, what did I call Wired In? Wired In was a community.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't start off as a community, but we tried to build. But it's a community. It's a network.
Yeah. And it was absolutely. I know we've got the other videos for people to look at in relation to James, but it's absolutely why peer-to-peer organisation in North Wales that James has founded. It's absolutely why it's called North Wales Recovery Communities.
I love it's really good. It's communities rather than community. It's community, because you've got all sorts of communities in there. Whichever way you look at it, whichever dimension, you've got different communities. You've got the different communities of the peer support. You've got the different activities. You've got Growing for Change. You've got the cafe. They're all.
So all of this stuff is really important. And like I say, so I can go all the way back to that first big Recovery Academy event, and Sarah, one of the 3 people that went away and set up Agro. Well, Sarah's now, chair of trustees at North Wales Recovery Community, and Sarah and I are still there together, somewhere, having shared conversations and support for this process, having both, walked away from drug and alcohol job roles, as it were,